in the papers it came, no windscreen, but Qasim does it again. This is something as a surprise I did for my dad. No one has seen it yet.
We wait for his response,
Okay.
right? If you can take a screenshot and send it to
My
us.
dad doesn't have WhatsApp.
Oh,
He doesn't have a mobile phone. And I'm not lying, ask him. My dad is like the best suspension that money can buy. He's always steady. He absorbs all the hits, but he never loses grip.
How's the family input, especially from your father?
Okay. Wow. How I got into racing, I don't think I had a choice. Okay, because my dad's Zaakir Wahab, my eldest brother is Zaakir Wahab, and my second brother is Eshan Wahab. So naturally, but yes, the love for motorsports was there, and I did gravitate towards it. And the best thing about my dad was, one of the many great things about my dad was he never forced me into racing. Of course, the brainwashing happened over a period of time where we would go to all the races, when we were small. So naturally, the love for the sport, the love for cars, the love for adrenaline came from that. But yeah, having an illustrious father and brothers in racing like that, I couldn't have wished for a better sport to have gotten into.
Super. So how was of course, the influence is yet there.
Okay.
It's a risky sport.
Yeah, it is. And being in a family of race car drivers is not easy, right? So clutches go, engines blow, and tempers also, sometimes flare up. But I always like to think, and I've always said to others who've asked about this situation, that I always tell my dad is like the best suspension that money can buy. He's always steady. He absorbs all the hits, but he never loses grip, and really he gives us advice that sometimes, you at that point you're thinking like, okay, you know what, it's just easy for you to say. But really it makes a profound difference. Like one time, he told us that, look, he called all three of us and we were at a racetrack, that you see, racing and winning is not about trophies. He said it's about integrity. He said it's about grit. And he said the most important thing is showing up even when you feel your tank is empty. That's what racing is about.
Wow. That's very inspiring. Yeah. So, we are getting into fondest memories.
Yes.
Right?
Wow. The list goes on, when it comes to fondest memories of my dad in every aspect of my life. I would say two memories that really stand out for me. One is when I was blessed to share the podium with my dad at the 𝓙𝓸𝓲 𝓞𝓾𝓻. We both raced in the TNJ event. And yeah, there's not a lot of people who say that they can share a race podium with their dad. And the other one is when I won the championship in the SLS category at 𝓙𝓸𝓲. And I had both my dad and my son, who was 3 years old at the time, cheering for me. My dad was carrying my son and cheering for me. So that was like, moment for me. Yeah.
If you were to say, on this Father's Day, of course, one day is not for fathers. Every day is for fathers, right? For fathers like this, of course, right? If you were to say something to him, very special, what would you say?
I would say, Dad, something we've never told you is the courage that you have, I've thought about this, and it's the courage that he has, but doesn't shout out that, hey, I'm I'm courageous. It's the kind of courage that he just shows up every day, It's the kind of courage that sacrifices without asking for praise, It's the kind of courage that makes a son want to be like that man. So I think my dad's courage, my dad's guidance, my dad's wise words, my dad's ability to, just guide us through all aspects of life, from running a business to running on the racetrack, So yeah, I think those are some amazing things that, even though we don't tell it to our dads a lot, because, the relationship between a dad and son is different, It's different to a mother and her daughter, so yeah.
Yeah. We send him a message saying that right now, right, how you feel, and we'll wait for his response.
Okay.
Right? If you can take a screenshot and send it to him.
Dad doesn't have WhatsApp.
Oh,
He doesn't have a mobile phone. And I'm not lying, ask him.
That
He doesn't have a phone, he doesn't use a phone.
no phone.
So I have to either call him at home or at the office, one of the two.
Wow. Okay, so bro, you have brought something today very special. I think even we didn't see it properly, right?
Yeah.
We want to see it,
Okay.
and I want you to say the story,
Okay.
what you're going to talk about.
Okay.
Yeah. Why don't you?
Yeah, so before I open it, I want to give one verse that I read, or rather something I read off a book, one of these motorsports book that really applies to my dad. It said the best rally driver is the driver who sees the corner even before approaching it. And that is my dad in his take on life. He sees things, before they happen, he anticipates it, he knows it through life experience. So yeah, best dad, best rally driver. So this is something as a surprise I did for my dad. So no one has seen it yet, right? And this is a helmet stickered with his journey through motorsport, through as many as I could fit on this helmet, the pictures, and actually this quote that I have here is something my dad used to tell me, not in these exact words, but something that really inspired me throughout my life, not just racing, but in my career, anything I do, from studies to university, whatever. Every champion was once a contender that refused to give up. And that is the mantra my dad followed and he taught us. And yeah, like it says on the helmet, that's the legacy of our champion, Zaakir Wahab. And I mean, many stories here. I mean,
Can you tell a few stories?
Okay. I'm going to tell you one where it says here, right? In the papers it came, no windscreen, but Zaakir does it again. It is one of the rallies where the windscreen broke, right? And dust was coming in, so he and his co-driver, they wrapped their faces with towel or a mask or what they had, finished the rally and won it, right? And then won it. I think that was this one, the rally 86, if I recall. He ran the Sylvia, he ran the Legacies, he ran the Minis, and then this one where after some time, he didn't race. He came back and won in the Evolution Jeep, the Mitsubishi Evolution Pajero, and yeah, I mean, and this one is a really favorite picture of mine because this was at Fox Hill. I think the second year that they had Fox Hills. Fox Hill was started in, was it 92 or 93? I can't remember, but the second year at Fox Hill, because he's a back-to-back SLGT Fox Hill champion, right? So that time it was not called SLGT, but was termed a different name. And he won that, and this is him being carried by Uncle Naza, that's Arshad Sakaf's dad, and he's such a dear friend of ours, the family, and he passed away a few years back, and him carrying him on his shoulders, celebrating the win. So yeah, there's some amazing pictures, and these are some pictures of myself, Ishaq, dad, with Javid, and it's, yeah, there's a lot to take in here.